He's spinning in the rain. Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. Yes, you saw me out there. I got a little crazy and because it was raining. Unbelievable that we actually got rain. I think it was the first rain in 30 plus days. That was of note. I think there was a sprinkle here and there, but that doesn't. Nobody counts that. So this was some good rain for you. For those of you who are not in the Cedar Park, Austin area, but you're in this part of Texas, congratulations, you got some rain. Um, for those of you who get rain a lot, good for you. We have not gotten a lot of rain this summer, and so it's been kind of horrible for plants and grows, trees and growing and farming and all that sort of thing. So it didn't make it nice. So it was coming down. You can't really tell. It wasn't coming down hard at this point, but I decided I needed to go celebrate. So thanks to the camera woman for filming this for me while she rolled her eyes, but that's okay. I don't care. It rained, so I was happy about that. So. Let's get to it. So, for those of you who haven't watched the show before, welcome. Welcome to Javier in the Air. This is a show that has a little bit of everything in there. I try to do my best to make it lively and entertaining for people. Beginning to start putting a little bit more difficult or more controversial topics, I should say, on the show. Getting some good feedback. I appreciate that. So, I hope you'll listen in to our today's bottom line, which has to do with making friends as an adult. So if you have ever tried to make friends as an adult, this is for you. We're also going to talk a little bit about coffee cocktails for our spirit times, and then we are going to, but we're going to start off by my new segment, or continuing segment, I should say, of Trash in the Hood. Yes, my trash, or my hood, I should say, has trash in it, and it's not from the garbage guys. Those guys do a great job, and they get almost everything in the truck. So I know it's not them. I've seen them come by and pick up, so I know it's not them. But there is a lot of trash and cigarette butts that I find, and something interesting this week. So I am going to start us up by showing that. Welcome to the people on Nextdoor who have been following my trash exploits, and I have been doing my best to make sure I stay on the public roads. I keep good hygiene. I wear gloves when I separate the trash. I only pick up certain types of trash. I won't pick up organic material. And this week I have to add the caveat of I will not pick up medical waste. So there was some, I'm not talking masks, I'm talking like latex gloves, and I was not sure what was on them, so I tried to move them to the side as much as I could, but I will not pick that up because if I just not gonna do it. So I do my best to pick up what I can, and a lot of other things just get done. Plus, I also won't go on the people's property. I also will not pick up trash on commercial real estate or businesses. I figure that they have a crew of their own. They should be able to pick up their own trash, and a lot of it is their trash, so it's not stuff being blown in from the street. So let's take a look at this week's episode of Trash the Hood, or Untrash the Hood, I should say. Okay, so here's day one. This is coming from Sunday night, which I walk on Sunday morning, so it was interesting to find this much. But I am changing my routes up a lot. So some cigarette butts, beverage containers, various bits of plastic and metal and paper and whatnot. Day two was some chicken fries, some containers, only a handful of butts. Shirley Drinker is back, and some various bits of metal and receipts. Another route is getting. I try to pick a different route every day, so I don't, so I can find stuff. So there was no day three, but day four was insane. There was a ton of cigarette butts, beverage containers, some fast food containers, bits and pieces of metal, plastic, and beverage water tops and stuff like that. Day five saw some craziness with bottles, a lot of different types of bottles of juice and wine and beverage containers, and then a handful full of scratch-off tickets. None of them good, I checked. So it was a little bit crazy here. Now, day 6, quite interesting. If you notice, the middle of the screen there in purple is I'm going to call a personal massager, and to the left of that, that black horse is something that's actually called a knockoff Viagra that I found out, plus some water containers. By the way, the intimate items I found across from the church, so I don't know what the heck is going on there. So, interesting day 6, right? My friends and I were walking in the morning picking up trash. And thank you to the lady who said thank you as she was walking by for picking up the trash. And then I found a small bit of that purple, and I picked it up, and, with the grabbers, put it in the thing. And then I found the rest of it, and I was like, whoa. What? And then a few feet past that, I found that knockoff Viagra, which is what I'm told. It's ginseng, which is supposedly supposed to be good for the get up and go. But just not the worst thing I found. The worst thing I found since I started doing posting on Nextdoor and adding it to my podcast. But not the worst thing that I've ever found. And I won't go into that one yet. I'll see if there's a topper. But I'm going to put those two as number 1 and number 2 of the worst things that I've found on my walk picking up trash from the hood. I get it. If you want to use those things, I'm not judging. Do it. I don't care. My question is a couple of questions. Across from the church? I don't hold it in hold the church in high regards as to things, but more than likely these people may have. So why a church? And then 2, why'd you throw them out? One's the container, so I get it, but the other one? It goes back to some of the other things that I've seen thrown out, like a mouse and stuff like that. You're on the road, you're doing your business, and then you're like, I don't want it anymore. I just don't get it. So stay tuned to see what other exciting things I may find on my walk through the neighborhood. And so, by the way, people, especially on Nextdoor, have been asking me, have I done any groups? Am I going to start a group? And pretty much the answer to that is probably not. And the reason being is that I walk when I want to walk. So sometimes it's early in the morning. Lately it's not, because it's getting so dark, or it's staying so dark in the morning that I can't see any trash. So that's kind of defeats the purpose of a part of why I am walking. And so and then sometimes I go afternoon, sometimes I go late afternoon, like right before dusk or during dusk. And then sometimes I'll just, on a whim on the weekends, I'll be like, you know what, I haven't walked yet, boom, and I'll go out and walk. Or I'll wake up early and I'm like, you know what, I'm in the mood, I'm going to go walk, and I walk. So I haven't thought about doing it. I think everybody should do it on their own. If a group holds you more accountable and you want to do something like that, then by all means, certainly, I'm not opposed to anybody having a group that's doing something for a good cause. I may not join or if it's during the time that I like to or that I like to go walk, I might join y'all. But I don't see joining a group like that, which kind of goes to our bottom line. But I'll talk about that in a minute. I've just not found them to be as much value as you think it would be. A group would be. So we'll leave it at that. If anybody has more questions or comments, or they want to start a group, by all means reach out to me. I've started groups before in the past, not like this, but for other reasons. So I know how to start groups and put them on Meetup and all that sort of thing. So you can just reach out to me however you can get a hold of me, and we could talk more about that. So anyway, we got through the trashy hood. So now, why don't we do a little bit of Zen, and I'm trying something out new that the film editor has given me. Hopefully I don't have to pay for it and I can have it in there. So I'm going to do a little Zen moment. Hadn't planned it, so we'll see how it goes. The element of water. It's been over the entire span of human lifetime questioned, revered, worshipped, laughed at, and yet it's still there for us in one way. It's interesting that it has no shape and will fill whatever vessel you have. So to me, it really represents represents life in general. And how will it fill your vessel, which is you? And how will you deal with the waters that ebb to and fro in your life? And there we go. Spur of the moment diatribe on water. Best way to say it. And important to me. Hopefully, you'll get some value out of it. So that was, there you go. Okay, so new section that I've been having for a while now that I've been getting some good reviews, some good feedback about it, is my bottom line section. So what we're going to do today, the bottom line brings you making friends as adults. Javier In The Air presents the bottom line. Hey everybody, welcome once again to the bottom line. I hope you like my new intro now. I'm trying it out. Let me know what you think. So today's bottom line, the topic is making friends as adults. So I've heard some people lately talk about this in loose conversations that I've had with friends and family, and so I thought it would be interesting to bring up as a topic. So when I'm talking about as adults, I'm talking about people that are in their 35 plus category. So when you're under 35, you're in your 20s and 30s. Of course, well, let's start out. When you're young, it's easier. I won't say it's easy because sometimes it's not. There's a lot of other issues that are going on, and I'm not discussing those at this time. But there are some difficulties to making friends in general. But when you're younger, it seems to be a lot easier to make friends, and long-lasting, lifelong friends, simply because you're exposed to more people in your day-to-day, in your lifetime, in your young life that you're there. You're in school, maybe you go to church, or you go to a club, or you play sports, and you have friends that you meet from, kids that you meet from your parents, their friends who have children, your neighborhood, you're, going to an event that your parents take you to, like at a haunted house, or to, scavenger hunt, or a maze, holiday maze type of thing. So there's a lot of ways for a young adult, not even a young adult, a young person, a child, to make friends. I'm not talking about that you have, you're an introvert or you're an extrovert or anything like that. I'm just talking the general making friends. And this is just going to be, again, like I said, just kind of a broad thing about as a child. So now what's happening as you start getting older, you start having influences in your life. You start having what we used to call cliques. Hey, I play sports all the time. I hang out with the sports people because that's what happens. Hey, I'm in band. I'm gonna hang out with the band people more often than not because we're together in a group, organization, a club, and so you hang out with them. But you still are exposed to more individuals in your day-to-day life. As you grow older, graduate from college, you start becoming, and I hate to say it, and I might get some grief for this, but you start getting set in your ways. Now, I know I'm very set in my ways. I know, surprise, right? But I've been told I'm very set in my ways. And so what happens is as you start getting older, you meet people from work. So you still have an opportunity to meet various outgoing or not outgoing people so that you still have a chance to make friends. What happens sometimes is your work friends come and go as their careers change, as your career changes. Sometimes you might meet some individuals that pretend to be your friend because that's what helps them with their career, and you learn the hard way that not everybody is going to be your friend. I'm going to say that truthfully, and I'm going to say it again. Not everyone is going to be your friend. And you know what? That's okay. You don't have to be friends with everyone. They don't have to be friends. Not everybody has to be friends with you. You don't have to be friends with them. You can still work alongside somebody you don't like, up to a point, of course. And you can have family members that you don't like. They're your family, but you may not like some of the things they do. And you know what? That's okay. You don't have to be friends with everyone. So as we get older, say now we're talking about into 35 on plus, we start getting more set in our ways. We start doing things that we like to do, that maybe others don't, and you don't care. You're going to do your thing. Maybe you like to go garage sale hunting Saturday mornings from like 5 a.m. to find all the good spots, and then you hit them when they actually open. And then you do that till noon, and you take all that stuff and you sort it and identify it and work it so that you can sell it at a flea market and or somewhere else and make money on that. And you do that every Saturday. Unless you have some friends that are interested in doing that, you're probably not going to be making any friends there that way. Plus, it's takes a large part of your day. By the way, that's not me. That is a friend I'm taking this example from. But then, as you start getting older, you start getting set in your ways. You start finding out that there's things you like to do and things you don't like to do. And if you come across somebody and you think they might become a friend, and you're not even trying, normally making friends isn't a trying effort, but still, as you get older, you like to have more people around you, but you like to have people around you that like to do the things that you like. So I play a lot of card games and board games and poker, and I do this podcast, and I do a lot of other things, and well, not a lot of other things, but I do things that I'd like to find friends who do the same thing I do. So you're also, realizing that you have a set amount of time. And so you're like, do I really want to try to force friendship onto somebody who either doesn't want to be friends, or you find out that you don't really like them anyway. So then you don't become friends with them. So it becomes more and more difficult the older we get. One, because we get set in our ways. Two, we don't want to deal with a lot of shit. I hate to say it, sorry, ma. We don't like to deal with a lot of shit. And we like to do the things that we do. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your point of view, you may have a spouse, significant other, friend, partner, buddy, pal, chum, that likes to do things with you, that does the things that you do. So then it's great, and you start realizing again as you get older. Another item, let's call it number 3. You don't need to have a lot of friends. You just don't. Even people that are extreme extroverts, I guarantee you, not all of everybody that they hang out with is their friend. It may be an acquaintance. It may be a friend of a friend, and so you're nice to them, and you're gregarious, and you're enjoying, and you're having a good time, and you're making sure they're having a good time. That doesn't make a friend. A friend is someone that you can call at 3 a.m. and say, "Hey, I need bail money," or "Hey, I need help. I got kicked out," or whatever like that. A friend is someone that will come and do something for you, regardless of whether they get anything in return or not, and that's huge. Let me say that again. They will come and help you regardless of whether they get anything in return or not. So you go and help a friend out because they need help. You don't ask for anything in return. You just go back to what you were doing after you helped them, and you're like, "C'est la vie." That's how it works. So there's many different definition of friends, but that's probably the best definition that I could think of. That is what would consider a true friend. Now, there's only a handful of people that I know that I could call and they would come and help out whatever is needed. And I know I have a handful of people that if they called me, I would certainly drop and do everything that I can to help them out with whatever they're doing on legally. So you have to think about it for yourself. Do you want more friends? Some people don't. They're fine with the number of people that they have. Some people have only one friend that they can count on and that they like to hang out with and do things with, and that's certainly fine. It's really it's your thing. If you do want more friends, how do you go about doing it? Well, one of the ways is I was talking to someone just yesterday afternoon. Start looking into organizations that you might like to do. I like to play games, so maybe I like to go to meet up and find board games and poker games and stuff like that that I could go to. Is it going to necessarily make friends? No. That's on you. You need to make a conscious effort to make a friend. It's no longer as easy as, hey, my name's Billy, my name's Sally, we're friends, yay, as you did when you were a kid. Now you're like, who's that? Well, maybe they're doing some things that I like. Maybe I'll talk with them for a while and see if it's okay. And it may take a long time. Now, little Billy and Sally could have been friends, and then they're friends for the rest of their lives, starting out like that. But when you're older, again, short amount of time. We realize we all have a short amount of time left. We realize we don't want to put up with other people's shit. We realize that we ourselves, people don't want to put up with our shit, and so it makes it difficult to make what I would consider, or we would all consider, a real friend. So, how easy is it as a kid? I have two or three friends of mine that I talk to online or meet up with and everything that I've known almost 40 years, in some cases longer than that. And so it was just that easy. We were together, we were together in and out, that sort of thing. Now, I have only a handful of friends that I could say that I met after I was in my 20s. And some of them probably aren't even friends. They're probably acquaintances, and I just don't know it, and vice versa. So the bottom line is, making friends as adults is very difficult. But if you really want friends, more friends than the friends you already have, then you're going to have to do something we don't like to do: work. You'll have to work at it. And that's the bottom line. Thanks a lot. Okay, heavy stuff. So let's jump off of that now and talk a little bit about our last section for the day. So bear with me, hang in there, please. And once again, for those of you who have made it this far in the show, and if you're brand new, welcome to Javier in the Air, where we try to do our best to keep everyone entertained. I'm speaking in the third person, I mean this guy right here. So let's talk about coffee cocktails. Now, I've talked about coffee cocktails before. I've had Kahlua on here before, which is a coffee liqueur, for those of you who may not know. And I wanted to talk a little bit about coffee cocktails, since I have a lot of beer on here and I wanted to have something else. So, speaking of Kahlua, I did add a little Kahlua with a little spiciness to it. They have like a chili chocolate liqueur, coffee liqueur now, and I added this to my coffee that I got from the place that rhymes with JoJo. You know what I'm talking about. And but there's a lot of. I also added some creme de coco dark. And so to my latte, because I'm trying to not have any sugar in it. So it really depends on what you like. If you like coffee cocktails, awesome. Do you like it iced? Do you like it hot? Do you like Kahlua? And there's all sorts of Kahlua now. Do you like creme de coco or cacao, depending on how you want to say it? Do you like white chocolate liqueur? There's a great dark chocolate liqueur that my brother and I found years ago that we used to add to our coffee all the time, and it was friggin' fantastic. Is it good for the waistline? Probably not. Does it have a lot of sugar in it? Of course it does. But they are really, really good. Now, I have had what they call, the cocktail is called an Irish coffee, which is coffee with whiskey in it. Black coffee with whiskey in it. I've had that before, and it was fantastic. If you like whiskey and you like coffee, that's a good way to drink it without adding any additional sugar. There's a lot of other coffee. There's like, coffee martinis, which I'm not a martini person, but there you go. And a lot of other things that you can add coffee to, or You can add add various liquors to your coffee, depending on which way you want to go about it. So this is my Kahlua and dark cream de cacao, and coffee. And so I'm not gonna give it a thumbs up because I'm not shilling anything. Well, I'm not doing anything for money anyway. First of all, but I'm not shilling anything in particular because I didn't have any particular that I haven't had on the show already. So, but I am drinking a nice thing here at almost noon on a Sunday. Very nice, very smooth. Um, so send me what you like to add to your coffee. Um, One of the things I like to do on a cold day, which I know is few and far between here in Cedar Park, Texas, but is add some Rumpelmans to the coffee, and then add a candy cane to it. Some people like to crush up the candy cane and put it in their coffee along with something else. Sometimes that's all they do is the candy cane. So send me what you like to put in your coffee. It doesn't have to be on a daily basis, just a one-time thing, something fantastic that you like to do, and I will certainly get it on next week's podcast. So, um, and that's it as far as our cocktails go. So, I wanted to say thanks to everyone for watching the episode this week. And thanks for bearing with me, and thanks for being here. This is 3 seasons now that I've been going on. If you'd like to see some of my earlier ones as a young man 2 years ago, you certainly can. It's on the archives on YouTube. Javier In The Air. I'm a little over 100 episodes now, and it's been great fun. I'm still and always looking for people to interview. Everything is up for grabs except for politics and religion. There's already a lot of that out there. There's no need for me to cover it. Um, and so we can certainly have a dialogue. We can have a discussion. I can interview you at your place of business if you have a mom and pop business. If not, I can bring you out here, out on the patio, and we can do an interview there. Always looking for a co-host to do an episode or two with me. So if you're interested in doing that job, let me know, and I will get you on when I can. So the more the merrier. The people that want to come out and be on, by all means, let me know. You don't have to be local. We can get on the Zoom call and talk about your business and what you do. And all publicity is good publicity, they say. So think about it. Let me know. Always wanting to hear feedback on how things are going and how you are liking either the new setup or you don't like the setup. Any feedback to me is good, so just send me some feedback. And I will let everybody go. Thank you for watching the show, and I will see everybody again next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.